Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GEEKCASTER. I'm Michael. And today we have...
Damian Bussy. Dang.
It's easier in the studio, right? To just kind of point to everybody.
Yeah,
all right.
That video.
So we're in this whole GEEKCASTER quarantine. Hope everybody is doing well out there. But we've actually got some positive, exciting news in the gaming world. Damian, you said that you watched, what was it, a live presentation from PlayStation?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah. So pretty much is the introduction of the new PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And the setup and the design it's not like its basic design like it usually be all black, black everything. But this time they decided to go to the black and white setup. So it's like, okay, cool, but then the design is more futuristic than what you expect. But I kind of like, I don't like it really too much because it looks like a router.
Okay.
That's the best way.
No, right. It is cute. The only thing that's not cute, however, is although I am going to get the disc version is not as sleek as the digital version. But if I learned anything from, my history of PlayStations, I'm going to go with the disc drive. Relying on PlayStation memory is never a good idea.
Right, because they got two versions, They got the disc drive version and they got the one where you could download.
What's the advantage?
Well, disc drive is more for people that is like me that likes to collect and hold on to disc-based games. And the digital version is more for those who just want to just download and use it for Netflix and all the other stuff. That's more digital.
Okay.
And it's backwards compatible.
Oh, it is backwards compatible. Oh, yeah, forget. Before
Yep,
go ahead, Taylor.
Even when you think about, the PS4, it had 500 gigs, and the 500 gigs wasn't enough. So, I don't know if I want to get the digital and then have to keep deleting games to make room for new games. So, I don't really know if that's a plus.
How many games are they going to release with it?
Well, right now it's a number of 6 games that were announced. That's on the site. But overall, on the actual video, it was like 10 or 15.
Okay.
That made their announcement about.
That's pretty good. People are going to blow through that in a month, especially in quarantine.
Yeah. I heard that they're going to also push GTA 5 onto the PS5, which I think is very disrespectful because that would be the third system they have now transitioned this game to, and Rockstar just needs to give me a new game and stop playing with my emotions.
But you gotta realize something. GTA always been there for PlayStation through thick and thin, so it's like, okay, GT is always going to be known for as PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, but I had it on the PS3. I had it on the PS4. So I'm supposed to get the same game again for the PS5? No, I need a new game. I need a new game. Stop.
Yeah, the new game.
Stop. Use little updates to try to hold me over like Rihanna in a single. No, I need a whole album. Stop playing with me.
Well, they do have other games that they're going to make it exclusive. They got the Spider-Man Miles Morales.
It's like a tuxedo.
Miles.
What happened?
It's like a tuxedo.
I think it's cute.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a router.
It looks sleek and modern.
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely.
I'm not
When is it coming out?
This holiday season.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
Well,
all
I'm not going to even make you guys laugh about what PlayStation version I have, so I'm going to shut up.
No, whatever version you have, we have the utmost respect for you.
Whatever. It's old school. It's PlayStation 2, okay? So I'm going to go get 5. I need it.
Wait, the controller is $200?
What?
The
What happened?
controller?
$600.
Oh, I'm okay with
What
that.
is-
But
with
if
the
you
One
system,
control-
like,
yeah, one controller is $209.
Uh-huh.
If you
I'll
just
pay for
want to
it.
get a controller, it's $209.
Okay.
That's
No, I heard the controller is $209. I heard $70.
well, this particular one, wireless LED controller, Arcade Fire coming soon, $209. Unless it's
no.
something that's already hacked. Maybe somebody, I don't know.
Not I.
That's crazy. So what's
I
going on in the
understand. The
animation world?
Okay, well, anime news, July 3rd is the day to look out for. So, since the 4th of July is canceled, you can spend your day watching anime. Because Food Wars comes back. It premiered in April. They did episodes 1, 2, 3 for season 5, and then the Rona hit. So we got nothing for like 2 months, and now finally in July 3rd, they're finally restarting season 5. They're not going to season 4, even though there is episode 4, even though there is a trailer for episode 4. They're starting from the beginning, as if the premiere was July 3rd. Also on July 3rd, we are getting season 2 of Fire Force. That was actually a big surprise. Not that they got a season 2, but that the show was as good as it was. Because I was like, I was very skeptical. I was very skeptical when I clicked it, but it was a nice surprise. It's not that bad. What else is there? Oh, speaking of video games, I heard that there's a mobile version of a certain game coming out called Kingdom Hearts.
Wow.
So,
Now that, can you get that on an iPhone?
June 22nd, so that's about to come out. So I know there's going to be a lot of people, on that phone charger next week playing that Kingdom Hearts instead of working.
Get that for Android too?
From home. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it said both, because I would have wrote that down if it was just Apple.
Gotcha.
I would have wrote that down because I would have been mad. So, anybody who was looking forward to the new Sailor Moon Crystal movie coming out September 11th, I got some bad news for you, boo. It ain't happening. All right? The Rona done messed up everything. So,
wow.
if you don't know, the new movie is 2 parts. One part was supposed to come out this year, and the second part was supposed to come out 2021. But because of Rona stank so, we are getting both of them in 2021. So we are getting the first movie in January, and then we are getting the second movie in February, which I think is kind of dumb. We might as well just get both movies at the same time. Why? It's just a month gap. Just give them the movie. But it's whatever. I can't force them to do nothing they don't want to do. And then my favorite anime of all time is getting a Boruto style spinoff. Yes, Inuyasha is getting a Next Generation spinoff. So Shishomaru and Inuyasha's children are getting their own series, and I am here for it. I'm very here for it. There's a website up for it. There's no premiere date, but there is a website up for it already. So it's not a rumor. It's happening. So I'm hyped. I have to rewatch the whole thing now.
Oh no!
Well, right now, since you're talking about things coming back, you know, a lot of fans waited their whole life for the Justice League, and there were a lot of fans that were a little disappointed, to say the least, with what we got presented. For a long time, fans have been pushing, can we get the Snyder Cut? Can we get the actual movie that he wanted to put out? For anyone that doesn't know, Zack Snyder was supposed to direct Justice League, started out the process because of some family issues. He had to step away from the project. But it seems that through HBO in 2021, we're actually going to get the Snyder Cut. To get this accomplished, we're going to see footage from what we've already seen, but they're going to actually shoot the missing scenes to tell the story that he wanted to tell. So, what do you guys think about that? Is that something that actually should happen? You looking forward to it, or like, why bother?
Technically, I'm looking forward because I want to see his version of the Justice League. But at the same time, I think it won't erase the horrible nightmares that I had from the original. From, you know, how they directed and screwed the movie up. So hopefully he can erase that nightmare from my mind.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad.
Gwen, you liked it, right?
Stop it.
Okay.
What do you think, Gwen?
I just don't know if it's savable.
Okay.
I think it can be salvageable.
You know, it's interesting. Some people really like what they've received.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad.
You know.
Okay, you want to know what my experience was? I actually was in the movie theaters, and when it got towards the end of the film, I fell asleep in the theater.
Wow.
Okay.
But look, you know, Marvel knocked it out the park. So when you compare it to Marvel, it didn't. You know, the expectation was pretty high. But all I gotta say is one thing: Martha. That was corny. That was pretty bad. So now there's speculation on some of the villains and some of the things that are supposed to be into it. But as far as I know, all the lead actors are up for reshooting, including Aquaman. So everyone is like, let's do it. Let's give the people the film that was supposed to come out.
They deserve.
Well, that's the thing that you should have done in the beginning.
Well, it's understandable. I mean, the thing is, it would have been nice if the director that stepped in continued Zack Snyder's vision, but when you got family stuff, you know, they could have just waited until he was ready, right? But I guess
exactly.
Not. All right, moving on to next thing is we grew up. When talking about video games, one of the classic video games. If you're a youngin' and you don't know about this, please research this. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which was based on a heavyweight champion named Mike Tyson. Well, they're going to do a biopic, and Jamie Foxx is going to play Mike Tyson. So that's what's happening. And right now they're working on his body to look exactly like Mike Tyson. I know, Taylor. I know you're like, what? How do you go from Ray to Mike Tyson?
I love that face.
It's not Jamie Foxx. Like, I love Jamie Foxx. He can sing. He can act. Like, you know, he still look good. You know, but Mike Tyson, Ray, Mike Tyson, same person? I think not.
It might be a transformational role.
He's gonna get an Oscar. He pulls this off. There's no way he's not gonna get an Oscar. You know that, right?
It's gonna have to be phenomenal because they're gonna have to put a whole mask over his face because he looks nothing like Mike Tyson. Like it's gonna be full prosthetic.
Maybe facial mannerisms, like just they can do makeup, they can do prosthetic. It's like no.
No, Mike Tyson back in the day, even when you hear Mike Tyson talk about it, he talks about how ignorant he was. He talks about how aggressive he was and how he doesn't even like that person anymore. And I can't see Jamie Foxx in that way. Like,
but the thing about it is
somebody mute their phone. Too much moving.
Is it smart to have Jamie Foxx as Mike Tyson? Because you got to realize, does he have the young look to play the younger version, or are they going to do the computerization like they did with certain other actors to make them look younger and then age out?
Well, no. Well, I say from this, not only I predict if he pulls this off, he will win an Oscar, but he will get some major villain or superhero roles after this. Because once he gets that body, I mean, he's in Rock territory. You know, because think about it, a lot of the roles that Rock gets in Vin Diesel is only because they're big. You know what I mean? So if Jamie gets that big, I'm going to see a lot more of Jamie.
They don't have faith in us average-sized people.
Oh, boy.
If you're not that type of person who's that big from, like, your normal life, whether it's in the gym or you're just one of those kind of, like, just built dudes, it's very hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Like, you will lose that mass really fast. And you have to eat a lot to maintain that. Like, it's very hard to do that.
Yeah.
So, like, even like Chadwick Boseman, like, his body in Black Panther is not his natural body. So any other time I see him, he's so tiny. I'm like,
he's thin.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, but I forgot how much weight you put on for that role.
Yeah.
But who else would you have thought could have played Mike Tyson?
I don't think about it.
They would have had, but they would have to get somebody that's the up and coming actor.
Up and coming,
Mike Tyson, also, someone that's up and coming.
Yeah, also that you can't judge them so much of their work because a lot of the, I guess I call them the top 40, the top 30 that get all the work. One, I don't think a lot of them have the chops to pull off Mike Tyson, and they definitely don't have the look to pull off Mike Tyson. So I would agree with Davion that you'll have to find somebody fresh, somebody new.
Well, the you're referring to are all too old.
That's a point too.
Jamie's too old. Sorry, Jamie, but I think Jamie's too old.
Yes, and I agree with you. Jamie is too old for that role.
Well, as a transition, since you talked about Chadwick, The Five Bloods, written by Danny Bilson, Paul Day Mia, and some rewrites by Kevin Woodmont and Spike Lee. And I say it's really important to talk about the rewrites because it was originally written for Caucasian actors, and Kevin and Spike added African Americans in the story, which added a whole nother flavor as far as what motivates them and everything. Spike directed it, and I think he did a really good job. And he hit a lot of notes that are so important today. Yep, good.
Yeah. I just want to highlight that a lot of people don't realize how long African Americans have served in the military because they think, slavery and, racism, black people weren't in the army. And that's not true. We fought in Vietnam and then came home and couldn't sit at a lunch table. You know, we fought for this country and then came home and didn't have any rights.
Yep.
So I think that even though it's a white person's originally written for white people, that experience is an experience that Black people had also, with an added layer on top of it, because they were in that war zone, yet they still faced racism from the people who they were depending on to watch their back and who were depending on them to watch their back.
Mm-hmm. And again, because of the Oscar pushback, I don't know if you guys are aware that the Oscars have been pushed back to a later date. Also, during that time, they're allowing not only a lot of other films to finish their productions, finish their post-production, but they're allowing streaming services to be up for Oscars as well. I think that Spike, if not for directing, because of the rewrites, he might win another Oscar for writing for this.
I watched, it was a great film. I mean, I just like the different elements of, you know, the soldiers going back, because I mean, it, for me, the story, when you look at the characters, it's 5 men that were friends during the war, and only 4 went back because one of them died, you know, because they were trying to receive money from the CIA that they were paying the Vietnam people to fight the Viet Cong. So they actually went back for a hidden treasure. And then Delroy Lindo actually had...
Don't give away the whole plot. Don't give away the whole plot.
I won't say anything. but it's really good.
Yeah, it's
but
good.
Then it also talks about the French influence on, you know, Vietnam. Also, you know, how they looked at us as Black people, because they wanted the Vietnam, you know, Vietnamese people to look at us and, you know, use the famous N-word. And, you know, one of the women, kind of sort of like a narrative, was saying how, you know, why are we here? Because we're not even part of, you know, America, being Black people. Like, we more or less relate the same, you know? And then, like, thinking, I was reading an article this morning about Juneteenth, and, you know, when Lincoln signed, you know, the, oh my God, the emancipation to free us. Long story short, they didn't even allow that in some of the states, and people still thought that they were slaves because the slave owners didn't even acknowledge that. So while we were really free as people, they wanted to keep us on.
Can you imagine that? Someone walking up to you,
No, I can't.
bruh, you know, 2.5 years ago you was free. Why you still working? What do you mean? No, you was free like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, but that's really
at the
sad.
same, yeah, like, to be honest with you, it's like a slap.
There's no internet. There's no, like, instant, like, some dude on a horse has to, like, ride up.
But
and
2.5 years, Taylor, though?
Really,
Really,
you gotta really think about it. But, Michael, you have to look at it this way. Like,
no excuses. No
as
excuses.
a slave, you had no really outside connections to other people that were free.
I understand that.
Wait,
I'm just saying,
to set them free.
just imagine for a minute. See, this is the thing that people don't focus on. Just imagine for a minute. Those slave owners knew and didn't tell. They held that as a secret for a long time. And that's what no one's talking about.
Well, they held it as a secret because they wanted the slaves to finish doing whatever things that they were harvesting.
To like,
whatever work they had
like,
to
Roger,
get done,
can you
they
just
didn't want
finish
to do it.
painting that fence? Just why Missy being kind of nice? She usually with me before she say that. Like, you know, like they must have been getting away with stuff and not knowing, and then be like, wait a minute, you mean I was free and you was still making me do work?
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, but you know how many people probably committed suicide because they didn't find, you know, they just...
I'm trying to bring the lighter side to it. I get it, Davion. Debbie Downer, I get it.
Whatever. But,
oh, man.
you know, I'm one of those people I take pride into history and stuff like
definitely.
that. So.
Definitely goes without saying. But, I mean, it is something to think about. And, Taylor, you know what? You did bring up something and that we never really mentioned, and you did say it is important, and we should, as a black-owned company, as GEEKCASTER is, you know, I think we need to do even better with supporting, which we have been for like a decade now, supporting independent artists and stuff like that, but highlighting different companies and giving people more background on them, because I think there's a lot of people out there that take for granted just the origin, the mission, and the journey of a lot of companies. So hopefully in this next decade we could do even a better job of doing that. So,
in honor of Juneteenth, Black History fun fact. That shows, unless you follow me on Instagram, which is why the watermelon is racially tied to the African American population. So basically, watermelons grow relatively easy in the South, and that was something that slaves used for themselves while they were slaves. So when they were freed, the easiest thing for them to grow was watermelon. And because they started selling watermelon, they were becoming, self-sufficient. It became a threat to white supremacy. So they started pushing the image that Black people are lazy in order to sit around and eat watermelon. Even though in 2020 they still try to make fun of us and say that we lazy and we just eat watermelon, we need to redefine that stereotype, because the watermelon is actually the symbol of our emancipation and our freedom. So,
and another fun fact, the reason why they were so brilliant to not only, start growing watermelon is that it's great for your body and it hydrates you. It's actually something that you really should eat every day. And there's tons of movies talking about Caucasians wanting watermelon. I'm just saying. Especially old school movies. Have you ever watched The Little Rascals? Even though it's super racist. Super racist. If you watch the... But... And all the kids wanted one. All of them. Yep. So...
Also, unfortunately, look up the history of the ice cream truck song.
Oh,
because although it is a great, charming piece of my childhood, the original song is about Black people eating watermelon in a very racist tone. So, there's that.
There's that. Before we get out of here, everybody give everybody your social media. Start with you, Taylor.
You can catch me on Instagram at TaylorSEV.
Cool. And Gwen?
Gwen Ferguson at Moonchild66 and Rogue Moon69.
Davion?
Davion on Instagram, Davion Bussy. Twitter is Shamar Williams.
Cool.
Shamar.
And Michael7Michael on IG. And you're listening to Getting Hip to. Please check us out on IG, GEEKCASTER, as well as GeekCaster.com. Thank you so much. And we'll always give you more. And thank you for rocking with us for a decade. This is cool. Awesome.
We out.